What's happening?
Josiah.
Yo, what's happening with you, man?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Josiah? Hey, we getting the audio set up real quick.
All right,
Okay, so I'll let you know when to come in. All right.
all right, man.
Okay.
That's what's happening.
I don't know, man. We might be. I might be speaking with my chest, Andre. You can't hear me though. He might be able to hear me now.
I think you're good now.
Okay. I can see
I
my.
believe so. You gonna just confirm with them?
Yeah, I can see the. I can see the levels. So is everybody able to hear now? Okay. All right. So Andre said he can hear. So really quickly, I'm just gonna kind of go through some hellos. We got Eden in. Why people? How you doing? Sun God. Hello. Andre, as always, man. I appreciate you, brother. And then of course we got our brother Kevin in the chat with the True Factory. Let's see here. Riri. Who else is in here? Python. Enlightened One. Hello everyone. Again, it's an honor and a privilege for me to be able to do the show for you this week once again in the absence of our beloved brother Kevin Wesley. He's trying to get better. He's almost there. He got that feeding tube out, so he just regaining his strength, and so hopefully he'll be back on next week, which will probably be a relief for you guys. So you'll have to see my mug anymore. All right, all right. But before we get started again, JQ, how you doing? Camille, missing man, you this missing Roger. Okay, missing Roger. You almost got me with that name, man. I was like, oh, I don't know what that is. Okay, Andre. All right, so. What we're going to talk about today, and before I get started with this, I just want to kind of go through some things here really quickly. Of course, we got to take care of business. If you haven't downloaded To Awoke, okay, it's available on iTunes right now, man. The brother, Kevin, you need to listen to this song. You need to listen to the lyrics. I have it in my phone right now on repeat, and the brother is dropping some real nice lyrics and metaphors in this song. So this is the type of music that we need to kind of wake us up and get us in a right frame of mind. So if you haven't downloaded To Awoke, please go to iTunes and download that like right now. Okay. All right. So again, so with that being said, in a little bit, once I kind of get started with this, I'm gonna bring. We got a special guest that has joined us tonight. Again, we're trying to open up the doors to the conscious community, let people in, let them share their experience, and let them share, how they were able to separate, from this religion. So we have Josiah, Little John. Is that your name, Josiah?
Yeah, that's how you say it.
Okay, so we got Josiah Little John. He's gonna come in later and he's gonna share his experience with us. Again, as always, we definitely want to point out the different ways if you're new to the group, which most of us are not. But I always want to kind of pinpoint how we could help our brother in his recovery. Okay, with the donations, he has a GoFundMe account. It's help stop stomach cancer, so you can give to him there. Patreon, he's a Kevin Wesley Patreon. You could do the reoccurring donation, a monthly reoccurring donation, $2, $5, whatever kind of fits your situation. PayPal is Kevin Wesley one. Okay, so again, just so our brother gets the funds readily available to him, we want to go PayPal or we want to go Cash App, and the Cash App is $ Kevin D Wesley one. So bdevolution.org. You get this cool gear. Fear no God. Be able to spark some conversations with your friends, your relatives, your co-workers, and again, you might be the one to free their mind from this religious nonsense that we're dealing with right now. So bdevolution.org, you can get the gear there. So he's put up some new gear for the change in the weather. We have he has hoodies available now, and then also some sweatshirts. I was on the site the other day. He put some new things up. So for the change in the weather, because Arizona right now is still 100 degrees. But if you well, in Phoenix, I'm in Phoenix, so it's still like one. I think next week gonna be like still like 102, 103, something like that. So still in the hundreds here. Sunshine. Again, that's another thing. If you want to move to Phoenix, that's another benefit. It's pretty hot in the summers, but we're in like almost in October, and we still in 100 degrees. So definitely want to go to the site and take advantage of the summer gear change there. So also Coach Renz at U as in Uncle, R as in Renz, popcorn.com. Whatever order you order, and if you use the coupon sending love to Kevin, he's going to give you, he's going to give 50% of the proceeds to our brother. So I'm pretty sure that's still going on. If not, you want to contact Coach Renz to see if that's still available. Also, our queens, our goddesses, Tamasha Hunter and Vanessa Dixon are putting together a raffle. If you haven't heard, if you do make a donation through PayPal and also through Cash App, go ahead and screenshot that. If you go to the Kevin Wesley group on Facebook, you should be able to just Google raffle and it should come up for you. The raffle, the value right now is at $115. I know last week I said $150, but I do want to make a correction to that. It is $115. It is a royal Mama Boo basket, okay? Egyptian relaxation, bathing, get your candles, aromatherapy, sit in the tub. It's been a while since I took a bath. So, I mean, if I win a raffle, Vanessa and Tamasha, you will be the cause of Ricky Swink getting in the tub, okay? Because it's been a while. All right, so with that being said, really quickly, Josiah, I mean, if you could just come in and introduce yourself to the people, say a few words before we kind of get into the topic, and then I'll give you some time later on in the segment to kind of go a little bit deeper into your situation and how you was able to escape religion.
All right.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, pretty much the way that I escaped religion, man, it was slow, man. I was raised in the church my whole life, man. So I went through it, man. I went to long story short, man. I guess I went to the military, man, because I got hurt, I got injured, I got diagnosed with MS, which is a neurological disease and everything like that, and that's like kind of led to things going downhill for me, and when I noticed that I guess, man, I'm trying to think of how to say it. I guess that that pretty much got me to the point where I started thinking about the way that things should be. I started thinking about the constant lies that I was told, the constant nonsense that people have been pushing to me for all this time, and I started to think objectively about all the different stuff. And then around the time I started listening to a whole bunch of different stuff, and it was different videos. At first it was Stephen Fry, and then my sister, man, really what did it was my sister. There was this video with and I'm pretty sure most of y'all know who this is, Ray Hagen. My sister told me to check out Ray Hagen in this video about that he did called "There Will Be." The Bible says there will be no rapture,
Okay.
and Jesus is not coming back. So I checked that out. I checked that video out, and I was like, of course I looked it up, and I was like, man. And I started thinking about a whole bunch of different stuff, and that led to me reviewing the Bible even more, man. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different stuff that goes into it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
pretty much
Hey, hold on, Josiah. I'm sorry, brother. I don't mean to cut you off. I just wanted you to introduce yourself, and then like.
Oh, my bad.
No,
man,
no,
my
no.
bad.
It's okay. A little bit later, I'm gonna allow you to kind of go a little more in depth into your story. And then
Yeah, yeah.
so just kind of like think about that as we kind of going along with the show, and then I'm gonna give it back to you and let you kind of go in depth with your story and your situation. That way,
Okay.
maybe what I'm
Okay.
pretty sure what you've been through. A lot of us have been through similar situations, but I'm definitely gonna let you touch on that. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So again, family. Okay. So just to kind of go back a little bit, again, just to highlight real quick, my page is begging for change on YouTube. Okay, so again, I know people in the chat are talking about that Kevin Wesley too awoke, man, brother. Like I was impressed. Like I really, man, I know you got all kind of skills and talents, man. But like I'm not saying this to just because we boys and we brothers. Man, that song like it's thought provoking. It has a lot, man. Like dude, like I can't wait to listen to it when I'm done. So but begging for change is my page. I'm going to be putting up new content. I got a couple videos already in the work. I'm going to touch on that Botham John situation, just to kind of get my thoughts on that. Also, I'm going to be putting up the fourth installment of God's Ratchet Squad. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but if you want to know who it is, stay tuned for that for that video. It's going to be good. Okay, so I'll be putting up a couple videos this upcoming week. So stay tuned for that. Also, just want to kind of really quickly touch on a situation that happened to me a few days ago. Okay, so a young lady reached out to me, and she had some questions, and of course, I kind of conversed with her through my inbox, and she wanted to kind of tell me her story. I did have a conversation with her this weekend, and she told me, man, just this heart wrenching story about her experience in religion. I'm not going to go into any of those details because she indicated that I could share her experience with you, but I said no. I said I can't tell that story. I'm like that is your story, and it is. I'm telling you, it's a movie because the things that this young lady told me, I just couldn't believe it. It brought me to tears. Okay, and the conversation that I had with her, it was she said that through the information, through the videos that she's been watching by Kevin, by myself, just this platform that Kevin and Josh and everybody has been involved in, and this platform that has been created for people to get this information and to change their way of thinking and to open up their minds. She said it did her a tremendous good. Despite all of the hardships that she experienced, she feels now at this point more alive, more free than ever. And this lady, I thought I've been through some hard things, man. This lady has been through some difficult things, okay, by herself, and she's still sane. She's still in a good state of mind, and that's just a wonderful thing. And she indicated that a lot of the videos that I put out myself has touched her in a way that she indicated to me like with the videos and how she felt about who I am as a person made her comfortable enough to be able to share these intimate, I mean, private situations that transpired in her life, and for her to feel comfortable enough to share that information with me, like it meant the world to me. You know what I mean? So it just means that what we're doing sometimes we can feel like it may be insignificant, but that is what life is all about. Okay, your life is about you doing what you feel like is right, if that's what you want to do. Okay, everything that I do, everything that I post, everything that comes forth from my mind, I feel like it's right. Okay, and it may not be popular, it may not be what everybody else is saying. Okay, but for me to get that out, sometimes we need to get these things out. Okay, this young lady, she, of course, telling this story, you're gonna get emotional. She cried. And I understand. I cried because I mean it's just one of the things she told me. Um, if you can make it through one of those things, it takes a tremendous amount of strength just to make it through one of the things, and it's not just one thing with her. So I just indicated to her, I says, look, you already have the courage, and I can't wait for her to. I'm not gonna say have the courage to tell her story because she already has courage. She already has like a tremendous amount of strength to be able to have made it through and deal with the things that she dealt with in her life, like pretty much alone by herself. You know what I mean? So it touched me. It touched me in a tremendous way. I don't want to go into any specifics regarding her story. I can't wait for her to share that information with the world. So I just wanted to take a moment to point that out. Anybody in the chat that I've forgotten, that I didn't say hello to, we got Chris, Wallace James. What's going on, man? How you doing? We have let's see, Dirk. Who else? No Name Rose. What's going on? No Name. How you doing? All right, so all right, we got here Ruin here, we got Nick. Okay, what's going on, Nick? All right, who else in here? Michael. Okay, we're probably gonna have some more people coming in later. I don't know, Lee Shun, where you at? I don't know where Lee Shun at, but he probably gonna be joining us later, and everyone else, Nikki and a lot of the other Tamasha and a lot of the other people that's always in the chat. But again, so I just want to also kind of emphasize on what I just said a little bit. It's all about it's not about what you have in this life, and some of the things that I'm going to be talking about today. It all goes back to maybe us not having things, or the have versus the have-nots. But an important thing about this life is I don't want a Wraith. I don't want a Tesla. I don't want a mansion. I don't want 3 or 4 houses. Okay. But what I do want is I want for everybody to be good. I want for everybody to live a high quality of life. I want everybody to be able to experience this so-called American dream. Not to have to work 80 hours a week and not spend any time with your children, not work that hard and not even be able to really make ends meet. You're not able to save any money. You're killing yourself working. You can't take your kids on vacation. Just simple things that pretty much every American should be able to do, because this is one of the most richest countries, if not the richest country in the world, regardless of what they tell you. That's a high quality of life. Being able to go wherever you want and not have to worry about somebody robbing you, or because everybody's okay, everybody's good. But when you got people at the top who are hoarding all of the resources and hoarding everything and taking everything, and it causes people at the bottom to be in a state of hopelessness and despair. That's not what life is about. So I don't want to be a millionaire, don't want to be a billionaire, don't want to have all of these things, okay? Because I can guarantee you, when you die, okay, when you close your eyes for the last time, or when people talk about you, and when they talk about your memory, they're not going to talk about how many cars you owned. They're not going to talk about the $10 million watch that you had, or how much of a billionaire you was. They're going to talk about what you did and how you made them feel. So we got to get back to, when you talk about your life and totaling up the sum worth of your life, it's going to be about everything that you did and not the things that you had. So we have to focus on what we are doing versus what we have. So I just want to kind of point that out. Okay, so the topic of tonight's show, and what I wanted to talk to you about and what I was thinking about, is a scattered flock. Okay, and I know he's like, Rick, flock of sheep. Okay, I know Kevin pointed out in one of his videos here recently that the shepherd doesn't care for the flock. The shepherd is using the flock because he needs to get something from the flock, either the wool, or he's going to actually kill the sheep, kill the lamb, and eat it. You know what I mean? So that's not from the perspective of what I want to talk about. I want to talk about, like, that I don't want to talk about race, because I'm not going to get into that. But I'm going to get into the have and the have-nots, and how we are scattered, and how when you are scattered, when the flock is scattered, when there's so much division, because I know it's almost cliche for us, in anytime you hear us talking, us speaking, the have-nots, okay, we always talk about getting together. We always talk, boy, we need to get together. We all.
Hey, bro, you're silent.
Hang on, Rick.
appreciate you just telling me my mic my mic ain't working. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, we got another mic issue, man. I don't know, man. I'm probably gonna have to go buy another computer, man. Can you guys hear me again? Like I can see the levels moving, man. So it looks like some sound is coming through. Yeah, they still saying there's no sound. Andre said I got the Hebrew mic, man. Why you gonna do me like that, Andre, man? That
You're
ain't
good
right,
again.
bro. Okay, all right. Hey, what's that Hebrew mic, Andre, man? Explain that. Okay. All right. All right, so like I was saying, like the most cliched statement in our community when dealing with each other, man, it's like, we need to get together. When are we gonna do it? Or are we never gonna get together? So again, I don't want to focus on any particular groups. I just want to kind of look at it as the have and the have-nots. Okay, so let's see. All right, my bad, Josh. Go ahead and do what you got to do, man, so I can kind of go into it. Okay. So what I want to do is basically I'm just going to kind of go into the unholy Bible really quickly because what has happened is this make believe God has caused us to be divided. Okay, He has made it this thing that doesn't exist has created so much division, even in his own book. So, like, even if you believe in the book, and even if you think that this thing is real, I'm just gonna kind of go through a few situations where he himself said that he made it this way for you to be divided. Okay, so um, just to kind of start it out, if you look at the Cain and Abel situation, okay, you have two brothers, okay, one brother makes a sacrifice and the other brother makes a sacrifice. So this this God character puts division between these two brothers, okay, puts hostility between these two brothers by rejecting the other brother's sacrifice. Okay, so when I read this story, I'm thinking to myself, okay, if you care about both of these individuals, which I guess you're supposed to because you claim to care about everybody, why wouldn't you tell Cain to say, hey, I don't like produce or whatever it is Cain was able to grow or produce, as a tiller of the ground? Why didn't this make believe God just tell Cain, hey, why don't you take some of your produce, take it to your brother Abel, and trade it, and he'll give you his one of his livestock, one of his animals, and then you can sacrifice that to me. That would have remedied the whole problem. Cain wouldn't have never got upset with Abel and would have never killed Abel. But the make believe God caused division between these two brothers, and he didn't look out for either one of them. Okay, so these are supposed to be some people that he cared about. He didn't look out for either one. He didn't look out for Cain, and he didn't look out for Abel. Okay, and then he didn't even give Abel, who did what I guess what he was supposed to do. He didn't even give him the heads up to say, "Look, your brother Cain is upset because I rejected his sacrifice, and he's coming to kill you." Nope, he just let Cain, bust Abel upside the head and kill him. So he didn't look up. He didn't look out for either one of the people in this particular story. So that never made sense to me. Okay, um, the Tower of Babel. Okay, these people building this tower up to heaven. Okay, because it shows you right here that there's strength in numbers. There's strength in unity. Okay, they're becoming too powerful. They're becoming too much. Okay, so let me give them all different languages and split them up. Okay, so it shows you time and time again through this book how division is not good. Okay, so throughout the Old Testament, you got all this division going on. Then when you get to the New Testament, he tries to bring everybody back together. But we're so used to being divided that it's okay. Okay, so another situation, even with his own tribe, even with Judah and Israel, and this is what a lot of the Hebrew Israelites can never explain to you. I'm like, okay, y'all
separated. Like, or y'all, why y'all not called Judaism, or you know what I'm saying, or the tribe of Judah? Why y'all don't call yourself the tribe of Judah? Why y'all call yourself Israelites? Okay, um, Hebrew Israelites, because this make believe God, he didn't even stay with Israel. Okay, he's not even with Israel. He separated and he went with Judah, which is the tribe of Benjamin, and what was the other? Judah. So I mean, he went with those two tribes. So I mean, but when they was getting ready to fight over in First Kings, I think it's the 12th chapter. I'm just going out memory with this nonsense, man. Like 12th chapter of First Kings, I think it is. If it's not, man, somebody excuse me, correct me, okay? But yeah, so they was getting ready to go to war with each other, but he's like, "This is your brother," okay? He says, "Don't go to war with your brother because I made it this way. I caused the split. I caused the division. This is the way I want it to be." So you know they was about to fight each other, but he said, "No, I separated you." Okay. Also, what I want to point out is I want to kind of quickly go into the New Testament, but before I do that, here really quickly, I'm just going to kind of go over some information here. And again, I'm gonna quickly go back to the whole Cain and Abel situation because there's a part in there where he says, if, "Am I my brother's keeper?" Okay, I want to kind of focus in on that because I think that is very important. Okay, because sometimes we can think that we're not. You are, you should be your brother's keeper. So I just want to kind of focus in on that. But before I do, I just want to point out a few things. Okay, so even back in the '60s, when Malcolm gave his Ballad of the Bully speech, he gave that in a Baptist church. Okay, so you got these Baptist preachers or these preachers, Christian preachers, letting them allowing a Muslim to come into their church to speak to his people and to speak to his congregation. Okay, so when you talk about working together, that's what working together is. Because again, it's not even so much we have to learn that these little differences that we have, we can't allow these little differences to separate us. We're not going to be able to turn everybody from religion, okay? But what I think is important for us to be able to do is to allow that to not separate. I know it's difficult. People are so indoctrinated and they're so programmed, and when their religion teaches them to not um, associate with you, when their religion teaches them to separate you, I know it's very difficult. But for those who are willing to work together, we have to be willing to accept them and to be able to work alongside with them or to put measures in place for when the time comes, when we do have an objective that we need to meet, we're able to put everything aside in order to be able to meet that objective. Okay. All right, so they kind of also key in on a few points because when you have an ally, your ally is just there to be there to help you meet an objective when you call on that ally. Okay, the ally doesn't have to look like you. The ally doesn't have to share all of your philosophies and your ideologies and your religion or whatever it is. Okay, your ally is just there to increase your numbers, to increase your chance or your probability of you being victorious in whatever it is you're trying to do. That's when you call on your allies. Okay, so we have to think about if we would love people to think and share our same ideas, but that's not always going to be the case. It's not always going to be logical for us to think that that's going to happen in every incident. So again, we can't allow these different situations or these minute things. Sometimes they're very diminutive. They're very small. We allow these very small things to separate us. Okay, so again, Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael. Okay, that's his AKA Stokely Carmichael. He indicated until the masses of people organize. Okay, they will always allow those in power, or it will always be a situation for those people in power to be able to victimize. Okay, the people at the lower level. If there's no organization, and it has to be the masses. Okay, of the people. It has to be everyone. Okay, so it can't just be uh, people that think like you. Okay, or people that look like you. Okay, so let me go back and touch on real quick before I kind of get past it here. Is am I my brother's keeper? Okay, so in this Cain and Abel situation, this is what the make believe God. This is excuse me, this is what Cain asked the make believe God. He's like, am I? You know, the make believe God's like, where's your brother? He's like, am I my brother's keeper? Okay, um, so you should be your brother's keeper, your brother's keeper. Okay, and this is what I mean by that. Our young people who are out here in the community, who are out here lost, who are out here willing, okay, to lose their lives, okay, are willing to take your life over some trivial situation, okay, over some trivial thing, okay. So um, I'm using this as an example, okay? So you have gangs in the community, and again, this kind of highlight because we are so accustomed to dividing. Even if we're in the same group, okay, we will split and divide and be separated, okay? So you have gangs who are supposedly the same gang, and because something happens, no one can check their ego. No one can check. Uh, and see this thing coming. Okay, they just separate over every little thing. Okay, so even gangs are the same gang, and down the street they're like we 160 Fifth Street, and they 63rd Street. We don't mess with them. Okay, but I'm like y'all the same gang though. They're like, well, yeah, something happened. We don't fool with them. So now, not only do you have to worry about the rival, okay, you now have to worry about the dudes in the same game as you. So you got double enemies. Okay, you fighting against double forces. Okay, so this is not always the case. So we have, man, I look for the day that our young people respect each other. Okay, not even our young people, but us, man. That I should be able to go anywhere I want to go, and I can, but it's certain places you go, you got to be on high alert. Now I don't want to be on high alert around my own people. Okay, so you remember that scene in Avatar when they was like, "I see you." Okay, when we see each other, man, we got to be able to see each other. Okay, like brother, I see you. Okay, I see your pain. I see your suffering. I see the misery and the heartache that you're going through. I see you. Okay, and I will hope that you will see me. You have to let them know that your life is worth more. Okay, your life is worth more than the neighborhood. Your life is worth more than those dilapidated houses. Okay, that dilapidated block that you dying for. Okay, your life has to be worth more than your picture on a t-shirt. And when someone watches that t-shirt a couple of times and your picture fades on that t-shirt, your memory fades right along with it. Okay, we have to let our people know that your life is worth so much more than that. Okay, so that's where it comes to when we talk about just having unity and just being together. Okay, and not being scattered in whatever it is that we're doing. Like we it's so many we have so many groups. We have the non-religious groups, we have the religious groups, and these schisms happen no matter where you are. If you're in the Nation of Islam, you got schisms. If you Islam got schisms, they got the Shiite, they got the Sunni, they I mean Jehovah's Witness, they broke. Church of Christ, they broke. Everybody split. The Baptist split. Like you have all of these different denominations and splits and schisms and divisions. Okay, so we don't have to get everybody on the same thought process because I believe that's impossible. Okay, as long man, all of these things out here, there's no way that we're gonna be able to like have that's like almost perfect unification. Okay, but I do think that we can have enough unity and enough sense to be like, okay, police brutality, that's a major issue. How are we going to tackle that? And what do we need to do to tackle that? And when y'all start tackling that issue, I'm on board with that. Okay, I'm bringing everybody with me, and we're gonna tackle this issue. The Christians coming, the Catholics coming, the Muslims coming, the Hebrew Israelites coming, the Moors are coming, the if you in Kemetic science, the Kemites are coming. Everybody's coming. Okay, so but the Jehovah's Witness, the Mormons, everybody's coming to tackle this issue. Okay, and when that issue is resolved, then you can go back to doing whatever it was you were doing. Okay, like we have to at least have that much sense. Okay, when it comes to dealing with these things. Okay, um, again, and I just want to touch on Africa just a little bit because I know we a lot of us, we have a deep connection with Africa, and I do too. Okay, I love Africa. Okay, and I think that's the thing that kind of separates us. Sometimes we want to be Pan Africanism. We want to be Pan Africanist. And then sometimes we want to, we a lot of us got a deep connection with Egypt and Kemet, and I'm not saying anything against any of that. Okay. What I'm saying is you could be whatever it is you want to be. You can associate and connect yourself to whatever it is you feel like you need to connect yourself to. But when that starts to separate us, like, and I know a lot of Kemites, I'm not saying like you use Kemet to separate anything. I understand the principles of my and what that represents. I understand the Ankh and everything. Okay. So, it's mostly with the other groups that's going to separate from you for being a Kemite. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, man, like we whatever you feel strongly about, you cannot. We have to stop. You know what I'm saying? Cannot. We have to like stop allowing these things to come between us and cause division. Okay, so we have to kind of check our egos sometimes. It's like back to the Africa thing. It's like if one brother says, "Man, I'm American. Okay, I don't want to go back to Africa. I don't have any connection with Africa." Then a brother that has some type of connection with Africa feels like we need to reestablish that connection. He may feel a certain way about that. He may not even want to work with you because he may feel like you ignorant or you just you think you don't have your thought pattern is incorrect because you don't have any association or you don't have any connection with Africa. Okay, so I know some of the Moors they think that we should establish our nationality. That might cause a rift. So there's so many things that will cause us to not be able to work together. And I think I know we definitely have to check our egos, and we actually just have to recognize when the division is about to take place, and then somebody has to humble themselves and be like, "Yo, um, we this thing, I see it. It's about to divide us, okay? And we have to just check that, at the door. Another thing, and this might shake some people up, okay? Homosexuality, okay? That separates, okay? I know a lot of us we men, and we like, I'm a man, okay? Don't bring that. Okay, listen. There are a lot of reasons, and and I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not gonna go into all of the psychological effects and all of that. I'm not gonna go into that, but I do know we are damaged, and I do know some things happen. A lot of things happen to people when they're children. Okay, that shouldn't have happened. Okay, and that causes a lot of these issues. Okay, so instead of trying to get to the root cause and address the root issue, man, we just throw people away because they live a certain lifestyle. Okay, so but if we, I ain't even saying you gotta change who you are and you gotta accept it, but like, man, like what somebody does in their personal life, that doesn't have anything to do with me. Okay, I'm just like, look, man, as long as you for whatever it is that we doing, like cool, like bring it. Like whatever you gotta do, bring it. And some people may disagree with that. Some people may be like, it's hurtful, it's harmful. Man, we have a lot of things, okay, that have like creeped into, but a lot of this stuff, it could have been you. So you gonna throw somebody away when this situation, one of these situations could have happened to you. I don't know how many people have told me, have spoken to me in confidence about situations that happened to them when they were kids. Okay, that they was innocent. Okay, somebody took their innocence. So we have to be sensitive to that. Okay, so some of this stuff is a little, we gotta be like, okay, bro, you going a little overboard with some of this stuff, but like a lot of this stuff, like we just gotta be more sensitive to and have a little more understanding, a little more compassion towards some of these things. So again, referring to Africa. When we talk about Africa, man, Egypt has changed a lot over the years. Okay, from what it was, back in the days of Kemet. Okay, um, when we talk about Africa, a lot of us, we don't want to talk about Rwanda. Okay, no one talks about Rwanda at all. And that situation that took place, with the Tutsis and the Hutu and that whole genocide that kind of almost killed probably anywhere from 500,000 to about 1 million people. Okay, was slaughtered by people that look like them. Okay, not exactly. I'm talking about phenotypes. I'm talking about the melanin. Okay, so but a lot of times we don't want to talk about that. So and also just refugees, anything that we can use to separate us. We'll allow just any little thing to separate us. Okay, so again, just kind of going back to the book and how some of these things that are written just with us religiously just causes all of this separation and this division. Okay, and it leaves us just scattered. Okay, to be just picked apart, to be preyed upon. Okay, because when you don't have any help, when no one's coming to help you, when no one's coming to assist you in anything, like what's to stop anybody from doing anything to you? Okay, if we had the same mind to where if something happens to you, I felt like it happened to me. A lot of things would change. A lot of things would change very quickly. Okay, so also in this book, okay, it indicates that no one follows this book, man, and I'm glad they don't really follow this part because this part is kind of ridiculous. It says that you can't even keep company with someone who sleeps with somebody that's not married. If you got a young couple and they not married, you're not even supposed to associate with them at all. Okay. It says you can't associate with people that are greedy, idolaters. So all of these things. Okay. So someone who's an extortion. Okay. So the it's telling you you can't even keep company or associate yourself with this person. So that'll be about 90% of the church. Okay, that'd be 90% of the church that wouldn't be able to, even meet and assemble together because their book prohibits it. Okay, so again, another thing is like so all of this in this fighting in the in group. What happens is, especially when you have a situation with the have and the have-nots, okay, you have other people while we're fighting and while we're going through all of these skirmishes, okay, a lot of other groups that swoop right in and pop right up, take your job, okay, the house across the street from you, take over your neighborhood, okay, because while we fighting and going through all this nonsense, they scooping right in and taking advantage while we all distracted, okay, with all this fighting and this infighting, okay. Yeah, they swoop right on in. Okay, and before you know it, you got people popping up all over the place. You don't even realize where they come from. And I'm talking about people that don't look like you. Okay, just take over your neighborhood. Take your jobs that you are qualified for, jobs that you should be getting. Okay, jobs that your people fought for. Okay, your people fought in all the wars. Their blood. This land is drenched in your people's blood. So you gonna mean to tell me you gonna let someone from another country? I'm not talking about south of the border. I'm talking about way across. Okay, someone from another land that didn't, they people, they grandfather or great grandfather didn't die, didn't get, brutalized. Come and take your job. Come and take a job that you're qualified for. Come and take a house that you didn't have the opportunity to own because you didn't get equal treatment. Okay, so we have to understand like what is it that we're fighting for? Okay, and what is it that we are willing to die for? Okay, so I'm just gonna take a quick, brief moment, and I'm gonna go into the chat here. And there's a lot of more people that has come in. Lee Sean has came in. Claudia, how you doing? The Shadow Assassin. We have the Melanated Child. Let's see, Ashley. The topic, Ashley, is scattered flocks. We talking about the vision. We talking about um, what we need to do to come together, and just how our mindset is different, man. Let's see, Terry, how you doing, Terry, man? We just divided on all fronts, man, and then I'm just gonna kind of pinpoint really quickly here, okay? Um, there's that little verse over in Proverbs. And again, I ain't teaching the Bible. And this is the thing about this book. You can make it mean whatever you want to mean. When people say you take things out of context, a lot of this stuff is just words of wisdom. Some of the words and some of the wise sayings, especially in Proverbs, are true. Okay, but just because these things are written in this book doesn't mean that the book itself is true. It just means that it has some things in it um, that you can apply. Okay. And before I kind of go into that real quick, I just remembered a lot of these groups that we're in, and when these groups are doing well, and when these groups are you're flourishing in the group, and I'm not saying like with position, what your position is in the group. But what I'm saying is like you've adopted their principles and you adopted their ideology. Okay, and as a result of that, because you've been disciplined, okay, and you've exercised these things, and your life is going well as a result of your discipline, you think that it has something to do with the group that you're in. Any community, I don't care what community it is, if it has sound principles, if it has sound ideas and a sound logic, any community can be productive in that. Okay, so that just you can pretty much point. Excuse me, you can point to anything and see that. Okay, so just like sometimes we get fooled because you're a Christian. You're like, oh, I go to church. My life is good. My credit's good. Yeah, yeah, all of that stuff is good because of you. It's not because you're a Christian. It's not because you with the Nation of Islam. Because if these groups, if whatever this group was doing, especially for the have-nots, I think that everybody would join. Okay, but because all you need to do is just follow the principles. Like you can follow the principles and be disciplined about anything without being a part of the group. You apply that same discipline, you apply that same logic to your life without even calling yourself this or that, and it's still gonna work out for you. Okay, so it's just sound logic and discipline. It has nothing to do with the group that you are a part of. Okay, so like we a lot of us get fooled by that. Okay, so um again, like I'm gonna point out something. I think it's over in Proverbs. I forget the chapter and the verse, but it there's a verse that says it says there's a way that seems right. Okay, to a man. It says, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Okay, and what I want to emphasize on really quickly with that particular verse is like a lot of these things it seemed right. Okay, and what I mean by that is when you talk about again, um, and again, this is not a shot to anybody's family. What I'm saying is when you talk about like immigration, and when I see like people coming from all over, okay, it seemed right. Okay, it seemed right. Okay, but the end thereof are the ways of death. And what I mean, I'm not talking about physical death. I'm talking about the death of your economy. Okay, the death of you financially. Okay, the death of you being able to take care of your family. Okay, because everything is scarce. Okay, so we have to shake all of this nonsense and understand that we are in a position to be replaced or to just be so far on the bottom that you ain't gonna want to be a part of it. You're not gonna want to be a part of this group anymore. Okay, so if we don't start understanding that we need to come together with a common objective. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go back in the chat. I think Kevin, flight engineer, man. Kevin, man, he's taking a break again, man. He's still recuperating. Thanks for the donation, Lee Sean. Kev was in, man. He's the true factory. Brian, man, thanks for the donation, brother. Um, again, if anybody has donated on PayPal, Cash App, or GoFundMe, I want to thank you for those donations. We can't, I can't see those. Of course, Kevin will be able to see them, but Just want to give you a shout out and a quick thank you. All of the donations are much appreciated, man. We've come together in a big way to help our brother out, and we're continuing to do that. So I just want to thank you. Also, I just want to thank everybody, man, just for just tuning in and the generosity that you guys have shown me. I mean, this is not an easy. I've never saw myself doing this. It's not an easy thing to do. I try to always bring you guys some good information that we can apply that's going to help us. I'm not a real deep dude, you know what I mean? Like, I try to keep things as simple as I possibly can. But I just want to thank everybody for the support. Okay, so before I go any further, I just want to give a couple more thanks, man, in the chat, man. Young Elder, how you doing? Nikki, I know you was gonna come on. Thank you. And let's see here, man. Okay, we got Des Taylor. Yeah, just thank everybody for coming in. I think Kev, he's still in here, man. He's still up. Okay, so anybody want to talk to Kev, man? He's still in here, man. All right, so again, all of the messages that I get in my inbox, I try to reach out. We always, we're not gonna try to keep y'all too long tonight, but anybody that has any ideas, come on, man, like topics. I say this every week. Nobody no, put a topic to a video or something, some information that you want to hear in that chat right now, okay? Because I keep asking you guys for topics that you want to hear, and nobody responds with anything. Boy, y'all just be talking to each other. Boy, y'all don't even be hearing what I be saying. All right, so put a conversation in the chat, okay? All right, so I mean, excuse me, a topic in the chat that you want to see for future shows. Now, I know Kevin's going to be back next week, hopefully, okay. But if he doesn't come back next week, I'm probably going to be back. Well, not probably unless something happens in the meantime. But I'll be here next week. But again, also want to also point out if you want to come on here for 10, 15 minutes, whatever, come in. The doors of the conscious community are open, okay? So if you want to come out, if you I know some of us we got professional careers or whatever. I'm a professional, man. Hey, listen, at this point, bro, I'm man, I know how to handle my situation if they try to let me go at my job. I know what I'm gonna do, all right? So but yeah, I know some of us we are still the courage. All you guys have the courage if you haven't done so already, and if you kind of like on the fence about if you should tell your family or not. Okay, I'm not trying to get anyone to destroy any relationships. All of my relationships are pretty much decimated already. But except for the people who truly are down for me. So I mean, I'm just like that. You either gonna love me for who I am, or just I can do without it. So if anyone wants to come in and talk about the Dallas police shooting, bro, like I can't talk. I don't want to talk about that on Kevin's on Kevin's page, man. So like social issues, I love talking about social issues. Okay, hey, Lee Son, I'm gonna put up a video about that whole Bobby Jean situation, man. But yeah, so yeah, anybody has any ideas for topics, man, please. Now, if Kevin want to talk about that issue, I'll definitely come on with him, man. But yeah, man, that conversation can get really, man, that can go left real quick with that police shooting situation, man. Also, again, so if anybody wants to come on real quick, would it be this week, next week? I don't know what Kev has planned for next week. But yeah, hit me up in the inbox if you want to come in and do your thing. Josiah, man, I thank you for sitting patiently while I go through that information. Thank you, brother. So again, I know you've probably been thinking about some things and how you want to present. But yeah, just give us a little more information as to what led you to come out of religion. I know you indicated that you was in the military. You got injured. Somebody introduced you to Ray Hagans. But just kind of let us know a little bit about kind of how that transpired and how that took place, brother. Thank
Yeah. The pretty much the whole situation, man. What happened was that I was going through hell, man. I was going through hell. and there was no explanation for it, you know. And the more that I went, the more I lived, the more everything was coming apart that I learned in Christianity. The more I kept on throwing stuff to the wall, and it didn't, you know, and it didn't stick, or didn't, you know, bounce back, or however they said that. But so that's what happened right there. Was that I didn't, you know, I didn't find that the Bible was making any sense, and the stuff I've been told all my life was making any sense. And I know it so well that, I mean, I taught it myself, preached this stuff since I was 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm seeing this stuff, and I'm like, man, this is not making no sense to me. And so you can bet, man, like I like probably 98, 99% of my friends and family is all Christian. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the other day when I came out, because I just fast forward a little bit, when I came out and told people that I didn't believe it, it's after I told my father, because that was the biggest thing for me. Other than that, I ain't got no problem telling people the truth, you know. But I came out and I told everybody that I didn't believe in that stuff no more, man. I'm talking about I got dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about nobody wanting anything to do with me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then the people that did like try to talk to me, you know, they like, I guess like when people see that they're not gonna easily like be able to get over on you or prove anything to you, because I'm putting up a whole bunch of controversial stuff and no one can prove against it. So what they do is like, oh, we'll pray for you. You're just going through one of those times. This too shall pass. You know, people saying all kinds of different, you know, stuff to me like I'm just going through a hard time or something like that. But they know the truth, you know, and I'm just constantly just trying to get people to grab a hold of the common sense, you know, that is there. I'm like, how can you not see it, you know? So that's the hardest part for me, man, is trying to change people's perspective, getting them to think outside of themselves. And honestly, I'll be totally clear on some of the stuff that you were talking about when you were talking while I was listening. I'm real big on that, and I think that that's the biggest thing that's holding a lot of black people back, is the fact that they won't let this stuff go. And that's just real talk, bro.
Okay. Like when you say some of the things that wasn't making sense to you, like can you elaborate on that? Like, can you give me an example of, like, you know, something that you was told or something that you knew, that you questioned?
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I'll give you an example of something that the Bible says clearly. The Bible says that these works that I do, he who believes on me, these works that he seen me do, he shall do, and even greater. That's not happening.
Okay.
If most Christians could go and review it, how many of y'all, we're talking about the way that this is said, that, well, you know, you can pretty much guess what people are going to say. Oh, well, most people, that's not talking about most people won't be able to do it. I'm not saying most. Let's get at least a 10%. Let's get a 5%. No, let's get 2% of the people. No, let's get 1%.
Okay.
No, you mean the 0.1% that still ain't doing what Jesus did, even though the Bible clearly says that people are gonna do what he did, you know. So that's the different stuff that makes didn't add up, and a whole bunch of stuff has been sticking out to me over the years, like the whole nonsense. Cause I grew up in a Pentecostal type church,
Okay.
You know what I'm saying. So I've seen all the foolishness. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I've seen I've seen people get drunk in the Holy Ghost and then run and put a hole in the wall. I'm laughing just thinking about it.
What you say? They ran into the wall and made a hole in the wall?
Yeah, this dude, he got drunk in the Holy Ghost, I guess, and then he went running around the church and then running into the wall and put a hole in it. So I'm just like,
so he did some property damage on the church with the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost caused property damage.
Yeah, man, you just can't escape the foolishness I've seen. Like, people gotta understand, I was raised in that. I mean, I remember, like, I was just thinking about it. I wrote something about it earlier today when I was a little kid, when people were talking about golden flakes falling down in the middle of one of our worship services or something like that. Or no, it was like they were praying or something, you know, because they all like to hum and all this little handaba si shandaba. So nonsense.
Yeah.
And then they're saying that the golden flakes were falling down in the service. And I was just thinking about it. I was writing about it. I'm like, man, if I wouldn't have been so young and stupid, I'd have been going around convincing people to put their money into this little pan. Because then all they got to do is just go around collecting golden flakes, and they'll be just fine.
Yeah, I understand. Let me kind of point out something you said earlier, man, when you was talking about prayer. Um, it just reminded me of the conversation that I had with the sister, man. She was everything that she was going through. It's like nobody helped her, man. Like they just wanted to pray for it. And I'm just like, when you talk about praying for people, like saying that I'm gonna pray for you, that's like the laziest thing that anybody could ever do. Like is to say pray for me. And then when you talk about prayer, this is the whole thing in a nutshell. Like we're asking like God, or religious people are asking God to do things for them, but God is asking you to do things for Him. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
why you need me to do anything for you if you created the world and you can do and nothing's possible with you? Why would I
yeah.
have to do anything for you at all?
Where's his riches and glory that he always talking about?
So I'm just like, with the Noah story, I'm like, why would God ask Noah to build an ark? I'm like, you could just make an ark appear. And like, you mean to tell me I could build a better ark than you could build one? Like, he could have just gave Noah a Carnival cruise ship or something. You know what I mean? And just
You know?
why would he have to do anything?
Yeah, yeah. It's
So that's
crazy to
that's what
me,
I
man.
always say, man.
It's
I'm
like,
like, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
no, it's for real what you were talking about. I was just thinking about it, man, and I'm just like, do people ever think about it, man? It's like, how much has the black community, for instance, how much you've been praying, how much our ancestors been praying for, and do you see one shred of evidence that we've been praying? How long we've been pleading for God to do something for us? And don't bring up to me that culture stuff, because before our culture was what it is right now, our culture was good.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Ru just said in the chat, he said, God works in mysterious ways. You know what it is, man? This is the whole thing in a nutshell. Like you don't have to read the Bible. Like I'm just gonna kill religion in a nutshell, right here. Okay, your God. Like I'm done. Like after religion, I'm done. Like man, when I put out this guy Ratchet Squad #4, like it's gonna be crazy. Okay, look. This is the whole thing in a nutshell. God, okay, he's willing to kill you and everybody else, but
Mm-hmm.
he's not willing to kill the devil. Like, come on,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Like he gonna kill you, and when you do something wrong, he ready to kill you. He's killed people before. Like, a dude grabbed the Ark of the Covenant because it was gonna
Yep.
fall on the ground, and he killed him right on the spot. But
Yep.
you don't kill the devil. You don't destroy the devil. I'm done after that. Like I'm done. Like that's the whole book. I don't need to read nothing else. That's it. Like you gonna kill everybody on the
Yeah.
planet, but you're not gonna kill the devil. You're not gonna
Yep.
destroy the devil. Like that's just dumb to me, bro.
Yeah, man. I try to get people to realize it all the time, man. I'm just like, well, think about how that whole Adam and Eve thing works out. Think about how all of it. It's like in the beginning, the Bible says Christ was slain from the foundation of the world. Before the foundation of the world, the Bible says Christ was slain. So think about that. The whole everything that was made with the intention of failure in mind. People that always talk about how God created a beautiful, perfect world, and Adam went and messed it up. It's like, nah, the whole intent, mankind's failure was intended throughout the whole entire thing. It was meant to happen from the get-go, if you go according to this literature.
Well, yeah. I mean, your point exactly, man. If he knows everything that's gonna happen before it happens, and it can't happen any other way, then yeah, it is set up. It is set up for failure, man. Papa said in the chat, if God killed the devil, he killed himself. And I think that was
Hey, he's
that was
more evil, man. I don't know if you've seen that video with young Pharaoh where he was talking about how the devil and Eve gave mankind free will.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen that?
Yeah, I don't know if I seen that one. I've watched a few videos from Young Pharaoh, but let me see. I don't know if I think I
I'll tell
recall
you the
that one.
gist of it. I'll tell you the gist of it. Man, pretty much what people got to understand is that in the Bible, throughout the Bible, I think the devil kills like 300 people. And people are always talking about how he's this great evil, and God's killed over like I don't know thousands in the Bible alone. You know what I'm saying? From the time when he killed his own children, when he wiped out like I don't know how many people out of Israel because they worshipped the golden calf. You know what I'm saying? So you just go back. I mean, to the beginning of the time. But it's like he said. It's like why wouldn't God have destroyed the devil from the get go? Why would the devil have needed to be? Why would Jesus have needed to be slain from the foundation of the world?
I'm
You know what
telling you,
I'm
like
saying?
he just
The people don't
it
think
just
about
don't
that.
yeah it just doesn't make sense, man. It's almost like you owe your buddy $20, and he's like man on Thursday if you don't give me that $20, I'm gonna put that heat on you. And
Yeah,
then you got another dude that then killed his son or his daughter, his mama, and y'all
yeah.
see you with the dude, and y'all see the dude that you just like, dude, that's the dude that just killed your family. Like, what you gonna do? You're like, man, I ain't gonna do nothing, man. I'm just gonna let it slide. But I'm
You
like,
know,
you about to kill me over $20. Like, you gonna let it slide? But it's the
if
same
you,
thing, man. It's the same thing. The
if
devil.
you die, you gonna make a bet with him, man. You can't mess with Job. Job is unlike anybody else.
Yeah, it's the same thing, man. So I'm just like,
You know
I'm not buying it, man. Before we get up out of here, Josiah, is there anything that that you want to say to the people, man? Anything that you want them to know about you, man? Before we get up out of here.
Man, just know that I'm a very race driven person, you know what I'm saying? I don't say too much because we on, like you said, we on Kevin's platform right there. You know what I'm saying? But that's the biggest thing that you know about me is that I'm all about my people, you know.
Okay. Okay. Well, man, I do thank you, man, for putting in the time, man, for joining the show tonight. I do thank you for reaching out and just, having, I know you already got the courage, man, so I don't have to commend you on that and the strength to be able to, stand up against religion and just, put your ideas and your thoughts out there, man. So I do thank you for that. Before we close out, family, and before we get out of here, man, um, again, if you are in that chat or if you are viewing this, I don't know. I don't think we're streaming on Facebook. We streaming on Facebook, Josh? Okay, I don't think Josh can hear me. Okay. Josh will fell asleep. Okay, look, check this out, man. Before we get up out of here, listen, go download To Awoke, man. It is a great song. It's like 99 cents on iTunes. Okay, so make sure you download that. I don't know if you don't have an iPhone. Yeah, man, is it available anywhere else, man? Put it in the chat, man. But go download this song, To Awoke. Again, if everybody that donated tonight, thank you very much. If you want to donate on Cash App, it is $ Kevin D Wesley 1. PayPal Kevin Wesley 1. The GoFundMe account is help stop stomach cancer. Okay, so be the evolution. Get this cool gear to open up people's minds and potentially change someone's life, freeing them from this religious nonsense. YouArePopcorn.com. Get an order with Coach. He's going to get 50% with the coupon. Sending love to Kevin. Kevin's still in the chat. He's still awake. I want to thank everybody for continuing to support the page, continuing to support me, begging for a change. If you have not been to the YouTube page and subscribe, please do. I'm going to be putting up about 3 videos next week. I got like 6 or 7 that's in the wings that I got to do some editing. I'll be posting those. Subscribe to the page, still building it so that
You said it's called what?
we can go to another level. It's begging the number 4 and it's change. So that's the YouTube page again. So we're trying to get to another level, man, so that we can get people like myself, people like Kevin, in positions of power, so that we can change the system and change this world. And we need people like us, not just me and Kevin, but everybody that's in the chat. These free thinkers. We are the future of this world. Okay, so we need to be in positions of power so that we can make this world a better place, man. So begging for a change again. Thank everybody for the support. And like Kevin always says, I don't know if he put it in the chat, but a candle does not lose its flame by lighting another. And you know what I always say: the only God that we need is each other, and the only God that I need is you. And we're gonna say peace, and we're gonna say good night.